Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Islamic Explanation, a place where we together increase knowledge, strengthen faith, and draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this channel, we will discuss various Islamic topics ranging from studies, inspirational stories, motivation to migrate, and stories of converts to tips for living according to Islamic guidance. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our latest videos. Hopefully what is conveyed will be a charity and benefit us all. In various corners of cities in England, especially in London, Manchester, and Birmingham, a phenomenon has occurred that would have been unimaginable a few decades ago. Churches that used to be the center of worship and the spiritual life of the community now look deserted. Wooden benches that used to be full of congregants are now left empty and dusty. Church bells that used to ring every Sunday morning are now heard less often. In fact, several churches that have lost many of their congregants have been forced to close and sell, converted into restaurants, museums, or even mosques. This phenomenon is not just a rumor or sensational news, but based on real data and facts. According to a survey conducted by various research institutions in the UK, the number of people who attend church regularly has decreased drastically in recent decades. If in the 1950s almost all British citizens still actively attended church services, now only a small portion of them still do so. Younger generations seem to be moving away from Christian-based religious life. They prefer to be non-religious or even seek spirituality elsewhere. On the other hand, there is a very contrasting view. Mosques in Britain are increasingly crowded and filled with worshippers from all walks of life. Not only Muslim immigrants from the Middle East, Africa, and Asia, but also native Britons who were previously non-Muslim. The increasing number of converts in the UK is one of the main factors causing these mosques to become more lively compared to the increasingly empty churches. One real example of this phenomenon can be seen in the city of London, which has the largest Muslim population in the UK. In this city, many churches have finally been converted into mosques to accommodate the increasing number of worshippers. One of the most famous is the Brick Lane Mosque, which used to be a church and is now one of the centers of Islamic activity in London. Likewise, several churches in Birmingham and Manchester have now been converted into mosques because they no longer have enough congregations to survive. According to a report from The Guardian, in the past 20 years, around 500 churches in England have been closed or converted, while the number of mosques continues to increase. In fact, some Muslim communities in England are now trying to buy abandoned church buildings to be used as new places of worship. This is clear evidence that Islam is growing in England, while Christianity is declining. There are several factors that have caused this decline in the number of church congregations. One of the main factors is the change in the mindset of modern society, especially among young people. The younger generation in England tends to be more secular and less interested in traditional religious teachings. They spend more time with technology, entertainment, and work than attending church services. But now only a small fraction of them continue to do so. The younger generation seems to be moving further away from Christian religious life. Many choose to be non-religious or seek spirituality elsewhere. In contrast, there is a strikingly different scene. Mosques in the UK are increasingly crowded, filled with worshippers from all walks of life. Not just Muslim immigrants from the Middle East, Africa, and Asia, but also native Britons who were previously not Muslim. The growing number of converts to Islam in the UK is one of the key factors that has made these mosques more vibrant, in stark contrast to the increasingly empty churches. One clear example of this phenomenon can be seen in London, which has the largest Muslim population in the UK. In this city, many churches have been converted into mosques to accommodate the growing number of worshippers. One of the most well-known is Brick Lane Mosque, which was once a church and now stands as a prominent Islamic center in London. The same can be seen in several churches in Birmingham and Manchester, which have been repurposed as mosques due to dwindling congregations. According to a report by The Guardian, in the past 20 years, around 500 churches in the UK have been closed or repurposed, while the number of mosques continues to rise. In fact, some Muslim communities in the UK are now making efforts to purchase abandoned church buildings to turn them into new places of worship. This is clear evidence that Islam is growing in the UK, while Christianity appears to be in decline. Several factors contribute to the declining number of churchgoers. One major factor is the shift in mindset among modern society, particularly among the youth. Young Britons tend to be more secular and less interested in traditional religious teachings. They spend more time on technology, entertainment, and work rather than attending church services. Additionally, scandals involving church leaders have also eroded public trust in religious institutions. Numerous cases of misconduct have come to light, pushing people further away from the church. As a result, churches are losing their appeal in the eyes of the younger generation. Many end up leaving religion altogether or seeking a new spiritual path. On the other hand, Islam is drawing growing attention from many in the UK. Mosques serve not only as places of worship, but also as community centers offering guidance, social support, and a deeper spiritual life. Many Britons who previously had no connection to Islam are now interested in learning more about the faith. Some even choose to convert to Islam after experiencing the peace and serenity it offers. The growth of Islam in the UK is also reflected in the increasing number of converts each year. Thousands of Britons embrace Islam annually. They come from various backgrounds: academics, celebrities, and ordinary citizens. Many say they found answers to spiritual questions that had long gone unanswered. One well-known example is Lauren Booth, the sister-in-law of former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. After a journey to Palestine and interaction with Muslim communities, she felt the tranquility and beauty of Islam. Eventually, she converted and became active in spreading Islamic teachings in the UK. Lauren is not alone. Many others have found Islam as their new way of life. Some were even former priests who had devoted their lives to the church, but chose Islam after deeper study. This growing trend demonstrates that Islam is not only a religion flourishing in Muslim-majority countries, but is also spreading rapidly in Europe, including the UK. Many who were once skeptical of Islam are now opening their eyes and hearts to learn more about the religion. With more people converting to Islam and leaving churches behind, could this mean Islam will become the largest religion in the UK in the coming decades? Some studies suggest that if this trend continues, the Muslim population in the UK could become one of the largest religious communities in the country. However, this phenomenon has sparked varied reactions among the public. Some welcome it, while others express concern about the changes. Conservative groups in the UK, for instance, strive to preserve their cultural identity, which has long been secular. They view the growth of Islam as a threat to Western values. But what's actually happening is not merely a religious shift. It's a long process involving spiritual searching, disillusionment with existing systems, and the appeal of Islam as a religion that offers peace and logical clarity. So why are many Britons choosing Islam? One major reason is the logical and easy-to-understand teachings of Islam. It emphasizes the concept of Tawheed, the belief in one Almighty God, without intermediaries or the complex notion of the Trinity. Many converts say this concept makes much more sense compared to their previous beliefs, which they found confusing. In addition, many converts report a profound sense of peace after becoming Muslim. Prayer is seen as direct communication with God, providing inner calm and reminding people of life's true purpose. One convert said, "I felt a peace I had never experienced before, as if a weight was lifted from my heart." Besides prayer, fasting during Ramadan has also been a powerful spiritual experience for converts. Although challenging at first, many say fasting brought deep meaning to their lives, teaching patience, empathy for the less fortunate, and a closer connection to God. In today's fast-paced world of boundless freedom, many people feel lost and out of control. Islam provides clear guidance on all aspects of life, from food and drink to dress and behavior. This is what makes many converts feel that Islam offers a more meaningful direction in life. In a country like the UK, alcohol is deeply embedded in the culture, but more people are realizing that alcohol often causes more harm than good. Many converts say that after embracing Islam and giving up alcohol, they felt healthier, more focused, and happier. One convert in the UK once said, "I used to drink a lot, but I never felt truly happy. After becoming Muslim and quitting alcohol, my life completely changed. I'm healthier, more at peace, and my life has more purpose." Islamic dress codes have also had a major impact. Many British women who converted say that wearing the hijab makes them feel more respected and protected. They feel that Islam honors women not as objects of display, but as dignified individuals. The Muslim community in the UK is also known for being very supportive and helpful, especially during tough times. Many converts say that after becoming Muslim, they felt like they had a new family that truly cared for one another. This means a lot in Western cultures that tend to be more individualistic. A convert from London said, "I used to feel alone, even when surrounded by people. But after becoming Muslim, I feel like I have a big family who is always there for me." Stories like these are not rare. Many have chosen to embrace Islam after a long spiritual journey. For example, Christian Baker, a former MTV Europe presenter, found peace in Islam after searching for life's meaning. Or Timothy Winter, also known as Abdul Hakim Murad, a British academic and theologian who converted after deeply studying Islam. Their testimonies have inspired many to explore Islam further. The rapid growth of Islam in the UK is not just a spiritual or religious phenomenon. It also brings significant social, cultural, and political impacts. As the Muslim population grows with more converts and mosques being built, the landscape of British society is changing. To some, this is seen as a spiritual awakening and the beginning of a new Islamic civilization in Europe. To others, it is perceived as a major challenge to Western cultural identity, which has long been secular and liberal. One of the most visible effects is in daily social life. More Muslims practicing their faith has brought Islamic values into everyday interactions. In major cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester, halal food is now widely available in restaurants and supermarkets. Even fast food chains like KFC, Subway, and Nando's are offering halal menus to cater to the growing Muslim consumer base. Changes are also seen in clothing styles. A few decades ago, women in hijabs were a rare sight on UK streets, but now it's a common and accepted part of the public landscape. Many Muslim women feel more confident wearing the hijab and even the niqab in public without fear or shame. The growth of Muslim communities has also affected social interaction patterns. More native Britons are becoming familiar with Islamic culture, greeting with salam, dressing modestly, and embracing strong family values. Some non-Muslims have even adopted Muslim habits like abstaining from alcohol or fasting during Ramadan after experiencing the benefits. However, these social changes are not always welcomed. Some groups feel that the increasing Muslim population poses a threat to British cultural identity. Conservative and far-right groups often voice concern, calling this development the Islamization of Britain. They argue that if the trend continues, traditional British values may erode, and there's even fear that one day Sharia law might be implemented in the country. On the other hand, many Britons are beginning to appreciate Islam after interacting with Muslims. They realize that Islam is not a harsh or extreme religion as often portrayed in the media. One British citizen said, "I used to think Islam was restrictive, but after getting to know some Muslim friends, I saw that they are kind, respectful, and deeply caring people." Friends of Islamic Explanation, hopefully this video is useful. See you in the next video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.